It's quiet now. The first season is over. For the time being, the games have ceased. The stands appear empty. But filling the Coliseum is the aura of a new legacy. The legacy of Hornet pride.
Rebound, Rabbit. In with a count. Does it count? Have they given the sign? It's good. Hornets win. Green has it turned. Buckers a pass to Kempton. Kempton layup. Good. No time left. Hornets win. 108-106.
The memories of this inaugural season will forever be embraced by Charlotte's beloved fans. Some said it could never happen in the league's smallest city, but in a region rich in basketball tradition, there was never a doubt. It is a team comprised of seasoned veterans and future stars. And with a little luck, this would be the season that made Charlotte shout. Breaking ground on the dawn of a new era in Charlotte. A state-of-the-art facility was to be built. And a prominent local entrepreneur was driven by the vision of pro basketball in North Carolina. Traveling to New York with a dream, George Shinn wowed league officials, and Charlotte became the first of 4 cities to be awarded an NBA franchise. Charlotte's moment had arrived, and Shinn returned home to a hero's welcome.
I lost control. I got very emotional. Here's a guy that struggled all his life, that graduated last in high school, and through his whole business career has had to struggle, and to hear that was just overwhelming.
Next, General Manager Carl Scheer and Player Personnel Director Gene Littles were hired to design a team blueprint. Fans also took to the drawing board. Shinn initiated a Name the Team campaign in which he solicited suggestions from the community. Originally dubbed the Spirit, the team was unanimously renamed the Hornets. And once again, the people of Charlotte were abuzz with civic pride. After an extensive search, Dick Harder, a longtime assistant with Detroit and Indiana, was named head coach. The grand design was nearing completion. In June, the order of business was to find the best available NBA talent in the expansion draft to fill out Charlotte's empty roster. Chosen were sharpshooting Del Curry and sparkplug Muggsy Bogues. And in a trade, Kelly Tripucka was acquired from Utah. The future was close at hand.
For the 8th pick in the draft and their first in the NBA, the Charlotte Hornets select Rex Chapman of Kentucky.
At 20, this college standout would be the youngest player in the NBA. Another recruit was designer Alexander Julian. A North Carolina native, he unveiled the stylish team uniforms with the help of a model Hornet. Late arrivals Kurt Rambis and Earl Curitan were eager to start anew, and everything seemed to be falling into place. Poised on the eve of their first contest, the city of Charlotte was primed for its introduction into the NBA. Game number 1. Dress rehearsal was over. Opening night jitters fill the air. Time for the Hornets to take center stage.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Charlotte Coliseum for a first. You're a part of Charlotte sports history, as tonight's NBA contest features the Cleveland Cavaliers and your Charlotte Hornets.
After the pregame festivities, Charlotte took to the floor to make history with their first NBA point.
But it's taken by Tripucka. Head fake goes up. It's good. There's your first basket scored by Charlotte Hornets. History's been made.
At halftime, Hugo the Hornet, designed by Muppeteer Jim Henson's daughter Cheryl, made his debut to rave reviews. But the final act would not go according to script, as the Hornets were unable to saddle their talented opponents. The Cavaliers would go on to win by 40 points as Charlotte suffered their worst defeat of the season.
Randolph keys to Valentine behind the back to Elo.
It was all anyone could bear to watch, but a testimony of faith was about to unfold.
The fact that we lost the first game by 40 points and nobody left their seat, and they stood and cheered as we left the court that day.
The Charlotte fans give their team a standing O, and that's great.
I knew that, boy, if this is what it's like when we lose, just think what it's like when we're going to win a game.
They would not have to wonder long. 2 games later, Hornet hysteria engulfed the Coliseum. With the new-look Clippers in town, Charlotte pondered, would this be victory number 1? Tripucka and the Hornets stung L.A. early. But the Clippers were quick to counter.
Come on, Bobby!
Charlotte called upon young gun Rex Chapman for firepower off the bench. He quickly delivered and the Hornets seized the second-half advantage. But the celebrations were premature as the Clippers raced back to narrow the gap.
You gotta run the court. You gotta run the court. They can't run if it's out of our building.
Taking their coach's words to heart, the Hornets took the offensive. Sensing victory, they refused to be denied as they staunchly defended their home turf. And as they crossed the threshold of history, no one would remain untouched.
Even for me, you know, all the games are won, 11 years in the league. To win this one for the first time in this franchise, if they'd have had a pair of scissors on the floor where all the fellas have been fighting each other to cut a part of the net off.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been a part of history. The first Charlotte Hornets NBA victory.
There would be many firsts this season. Down in Atlanta, Kelly Tripucka would see to one of them.
Only 10 on the shot clock now. Tripucka for 3. First 3-point field goal for the Hornets.
Charlotte would then travel west to visit San Antonio, where a hustling Earl Curitan would preserve the Hornets' first road victory.
Bounce pass almost stolen by Bogues, but goes to Dawkins. Shot blocked by Curitan.
Earl's one of those guys that you can always depend on to get the big rebound or make the big play or block a shot or what have you. I think Earl's always the guy to get that done.
Back home against the Heat, with expansion team bragging rights at stake, the Hornets got the best of their first matchup with Miami as they overwhelmed them from the onset.
We just go out there and try to play hard, not give up, and not be. We don't try to be denied. We just believe in ourselves and believe in each other.
By December, Charlotte fans had become accustomed to sweating out close games. Though the Hornets had led for 3 quarters, an enraged Charles Barkley had Hornet fans on the edge of their seats.
Brooks for a rolling Kaminsky. Underneath Charles, slipped by his man and pounds it home again.
A possessed Barkley single-handedly erased Charlotte's lead, frustrating the Hornets and shredding a defense that was built around shutting him down.
We gotta get it in Kirk because they're just flat out. They're playing the zone.
The top, they go instead down low. Charles, off balance, scores anyway.
With Barkley staking the Sixers to a 6-point lead, it was up to Rex Chapman to provide a fourth-quarter spark off the bench. And the Charlotte Coliseum came alive as the Hornets hustled to regain a 3-point advantage. But Barkley would not be denied.
Looking for Barkley, who jumps out high. Barkley puts it on the floor, runs to the basket, scores, and he's going to have a chance for the 3-point play. With the score tied again, Charlotte set up a final play. They would have 6 seconds to take back the lead. Reed looks. Oh, Tripucka's all alone. He scored. 4 seconds left. How can that be? And bedlam reigned as everyone in the Coliseum knew Charles Barkley would have to be reckoned with one last time. They got it to Charles. Charles on the floor. Down the lane he runs. Goes inside and an offensive foul. They're not going to count the bucket. They're not going to count the bucket. And Jimmy Lynam is pleading his case.
We had been talking the day before the game about somebody taking the charge on Barkley. And then with the game on the line, Rex and somebody else, stood up there.
He charged into me, and if they'd have called a block, the shot went in. And, he'd have been at the line to win the game. So we were fortunate to get away with a win.
The Hornets are fortunate to have a player of Rex's immense potential and a coach to help him maximize it.
Out there, and you're right against him like that. I really think he can do that, even for a rookie. And I know you're getting tough calls. You have to, Rex. They don't let you do that, we can't play.
A city consumed by Hornet hysteria, Charlotte quickly began a love affair with the golden child from Kentucky. In his first season, he has dazzled the NBA with his vast array of shots and pinpoint passes.
Rex is a special kind of player.
I've never seen a player with more confidence.
The best shooter I've seen that I've ever played with.
His reputation as a pure shooter is known league-wide, but it is his thunderous dunks that bring the fans to their feet.
Rex is
a little goofy coming from Kentucky, but he's a good kid.
He's very easy to get along with because he doesn't really say much.
Rex does his talking strictly on the court. He has his own way of commanding attention. Only 2 years out of high school, Chapman has captured the hearts of the Charlotte faithful, and there's little doubt that he'll continue to captivate them for years to come. Then there is the senior Hornet, the savvy veteran Robert Reed. Young at heart, his easygoing persona on and off the court gains new admirers every day.
Wily veteran.
He's silly. Bob is a clown.
His attitude towards things is I think, what sets him apart from everybody. He's just a fun guy, and I think he has a lot of fun playing the game of basketball.
You can't throw, but you can get.
His free spirit mirrors his style of play.
Gutter, no. Coming from Houston, he definitely has never met a shot that he doesn't like.
The former Texas gunslinger returned to Houston to a standing ovation, yet this time he had hopes to blaze new trails.
Next year, let's show up and just think about maybe we can be that 9th or 8th team that's battling for a playoff spot. I think that'd be great for us.